Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, and the Cincinnati Bengals as they match up with the second-year man Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Andy Dalton set to lead out this Bengals offense at the controls for the 9th year, the man out of TCU. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Joe Mixon there out of the backfield. And it'll bring up 3rd down. And a look now at the Cincinnati offense.
While the Bengals struggled in 2018, running back Joe Mixon certainly did not. Over 1,100 yards running the ball, caught 43 passes. Expect both of those numbers to continue to climb in his years in the NFL.
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
You can't get past me.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Ravens now as they get set for their opening possession. Commanding the offense will be Lamar Jackson, the electric quarterback out of the University of Louisville.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And fighting down inside the 25. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Throw left side. It's reeled in by Hamilton. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And here now, the Baltimore offense.
And the Baltimore Ravens pride themselves on being physical on offense. One reason why? Perennial Pro Bowl guard Marshall Yanda, who played his first 16-game season since 2015 and 2018. And when he's right, the Baltimore offense rolls.
On second down now, it's Thompson. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Defensive starters, here they are for Cincinnati. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it because teams that are top 5, they don't stop running the ball if they don't get things done early.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
Covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. They give it here to Thompson. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
3rd and goal, Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. You can already start to hear this crowd. They're saying, go for it.
Yeah, have we ever been at a game where you've heard the crowd go, field goal, field goal?
No, I have not. That's a good point.
Yeah, they always want to go for it, and I think they've got the right idea right now. The way they've moved the ball in this drive, I wouldn't stop that momentum. Go get it.
Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first at 3's in. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
Excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Go!
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Check, check, check.
And caught. Right side. Green. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down.
Well, that was well defended. And as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Let's pick it up. Out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field.
3rd down. A shot here for Dalton. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on 3rd down.
And ordinarily on 3rd down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuck it out and made a nice stop.
Allen on to punt as he gets this one away. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
I
don't know about that. Super tough.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. He takes this for 3 to the 29. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Jackson's throw on target to Willie Snead. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps. He cuts towards the middle of the field, and now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. He gets away from 1. He'll have a first down past the 40. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Here we go.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. To the left side here for Eifert. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Despite only needing 1, Dalton to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well.
Good work, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Deshaun Hamilton, the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Well, later tonight, we have more football. Sunday night football, a good one out west. Steelers and Chargers might see equal amounts of black and gold mixed with a powder blue in the stands for that one. And then tomorrow, Monday night football, Detroit and Green Bay battle in the NFC North from Lambeau Field. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. That is incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is simply a great read by a defensive back. It's 3rd and 10, so he sits right on where the yard-to-gain marker is, knows it's going to be a route around that distance, makes his read, breaks on the football, and makes a terrific play.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Set 90, Wolf. Come on. Ready?
Now Hill looking to throw on first. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They'll go with a keeper. And able to follow his center and pick up the first. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. They'll try the left side. Thompson. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing on third down, Hill. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at about the 14. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Play action here with Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. That's pulled in by the rookie from Notre Dame, Miles Boykin. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression.
Just pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. So Dalton now. Caught Eifert over the middle. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Throwing, Dalton. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down. 4 receivers to keep tabs on here, 3 of them to the right side on 2nd and 5. The final act of the first half, Dalton into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And as they approach halftime, it's the Redskins who have the lead in that one. A couple of touchdowns there for Darius Geis. From there we say, so long, America. Hello, England. As we head over the Atlantic to check out the action in London. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Jameis Winston, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter. No time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. 3rd and inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a first down.
Hill now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. To throw again. Hill. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Give him 2 yards on that play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight end.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
Still first down.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
Watch that in. Watch that in.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. That's complete to John Ross. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle. Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. The Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. And Dalton to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. 8 yards on the screen there. Not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Let's go.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10.
Set 50, plant.
59, like the 59.
First play of the drive is a run with Thompson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time. Let's go.
He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield. There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack. But I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. He's bred this big defensive tackle.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And the fans probably thinking, wow, that's the first time Dalton and Green have connected here, and it's late. Where have they been?
And because they haven't been there, haven't been present, haven't done it often, their team is losing right now. It's vital that those two connect if they want to have a chance.
On second down, here's Mixon. And some room to maneuver, pushing his way through. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Elsewhere at Arrowhead there in the third quarter. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
Hands up. Here we go. Tight end left. Tight end left.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on third down.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down. So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. They create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And Bullock will put this one through, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
Here we go. 18 Gator. Get that ball. Get that ball.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Hand off to Thompson. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
They go play action here on 1st down. Rashawn Gary in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Dalton. Green with a catch left side. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
He's got his man here. It's Green. And they'll get this down to the 10. 14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1. That's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
Who was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And since they still have 10 yards to go, they'll just say, let's roll this over to third down and decline it.
Let's just be honest about it. If you can't get them off the field on 3rd and 10, then something's wrong with your defense anyway. No sense in taking that penalty.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's...
And it's a fumble. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now Thompson. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
On 3rd down, it's Thompson, and he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical 3rd down conversion.
This afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. It hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run with Thompson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. Now this time he'll look to throw. To Thompson on the screen. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. Back now on EA Sports. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So now Dalton and the Bengals down 9-6. A minute 54 on the clock. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up first and 10. So now Dalton. Green's got it over the middle. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He's back to throw. That one a first down, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a second down and 12.
Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still second down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Big spot. Andy Dalton. Throw left side complete. It's Boyd. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Now Bengals on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is going to be third and 13. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They'll try to pass on fourth down. Dalton, and able to find Green. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. With 3 seconds to go, if it's good, we're off to overtime. And this one is right through. And that will tie the score now at 9 apiece. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Dalton bootlegs out. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Coming up on a 3rd and 9. Opening drive of overtime as they look to convert. Now Dalton, and Eifert has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Dalton here from the gun. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Partner, it's a pretty good drive they're putting together. And I know if I'm on the other sideline, that offense, kind of helpless, isn't it? Because they may not touch the football at all. Because if they go down and score a touchdown, this thing's over.
Absolutely. That would write an ending to this script. We'll see what happens. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. And it'll be Dalton again. Over the middle, complete. That's Boyd. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. And caught, right side, Green. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for the Bengals, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.